He will make you brand new. I am the fire of I am royalty. With God living in me, I am royalty. Say I am the fire. I am royalty. He made me a brand new start. I am royalty. Without further ado, let us continue with the conclusion of this month's teaching. I meant to touch a lot of things, but I will have to jump because of the magnitude of the things which we have to deal with. I left off when we spoke about the fact how the sons of God, as they were mentioned in the book of Genesis 6, are actually angels that came to the daughters of men. And the union of angels and the union of men produce a different kind of species, a new kind of life form, a corrupt form of life form. It brought forth a wickedness unlike the world has ever seen before. And this wickedness has become a thorn in our lives, always battling the inhabitants of the earth. As we read in Genesis 6, now we'll jump to the book of Enoch or Anuk. Book of Enoch, chapter 6, from verse 1. And listen at the way it begins, literally as in Genesis 6. Enoch 6, verse 1. Go ahead.
Enoch 6 from verse 1.
That's right.
And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied,
go ahead,
that in those days were born to them beautiful and fair daughters.
Beautiful and fair daughters. That is why when you go and read the book of 1 Corinthians 12 or 11, I believe, and it speaks about women covering their head, there is a specific detail which Shaw highlights. He says, for the sake of the angels, ought ye to cover yourselves. Now, was Shaul mad?
Was he mad?
Or did we not understand? You think Shaul was just speaking because he had nothing to say? Really? Shaul, nothing to say? Is that for the sake of angels, ought women to cover their head when they are in the presence of Elohim? You think Shaul was mad?
He wasn't.
Now you know a bit more, so go and research that. Enoch 6, go ahead.
And the angels.
And the angels.
The sons of heaven.
The what?
The sons of heaven.
The sons of heaven, or the children of heaven.
Saw and lusted after them.
Saw and lusted after them.
And said to one another.
And they said to one and another,
Come.
Come.
Let us choose us wives.
Let us choose us wives.
From among the children of men.
From amongst the children of men.
And have children with them.
And have what with them?
And have children with them.
And have children with them.
And Semyaza.
And have children with them. This is Enoch 6. Now jump to Enoch 7. All this you can read at home in your own leisure. So they intended to do something. Now let's read Enoch 7 from verse 1. What does it say?
Enoch 7 verse 1.
And
all of them.
And all of them
together.
All of them is these company of fallen angels.
Went and took wives.
They went and took wives.
For themselves.
For themselves.
Each choosing one for himself.
Each choosing one for themselves.
And they began to go into them.
And they began to have intercourse with them.
And to defile themselves.
And they defiled themselves.
With sex with them.
With sex with them.
And the angels taught them.
And the angels taught them
charms and spells.
Charms and spells.
And the cutting of
If you want to know the source of magic, the source of sorcery, the source of witchcraft and all these things, as we said last week, witchcraft is the source of witchcraft is rebellion, which is one of the things that a fallen angel introduced to us mankind. So the source of magic the source of sorcery. It is all hidden skills taught to men by fallen angels. Hidden skills taught to men by fallen angels. A hidden agenda or hidden, that's why some call it the occultism, the occult. Occult simply means hidden knowledge. So when they say you are doubling in the occult, what it means is you are swimming. You are swimming in hidden knowledge. Go ahead.
And the angels taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants.
What does verse 2 say?
And the angels taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants.
Go ahead.
And the woman became pregnant.
Listen, and the women became pregnant.
And they bare large giants.
And they bear what?
Large giants.
Now where have I heard this before? And the woman became pregnant and they bore what?
Large giants.
Large giants.
Whose height was 3,000 cubits.
They bore giants. Now go to Genesis 6. How dare these men remove the book of Enoch from the volumes of the holy books, seeing that this book has all these precious things for us to read and study and understand. But someone came and said it is not canon.
Not canon.
It is not canon.
Canonicus.
Genesis 6. From verse 4 going down.
Genesis 6 verse 4. There were giants in the earth.
There were giants in the earth
in those days.
Now if you read Genesis from 1, you will see that the sons of God came to the daughters of men and they bore children. And these children were called giants. That's why the same context in the same Genesis, it says there were giants in the earth. These giants referenced in Genesis 6 are the same giants referenced in the book of Enoch. Only in the book of Enoch we see their origin. That they are the offspring of angelic beings and human beings. When angelic beings fuse with human beings, they produce giants. Another word for giants, when you go to the concordance, you will read it says Nephilim. In plural, Nephilim.
That's right.
It has two meanings. It means a giant, but it also means a tyrant, a bully, a wicked being. In the Greek, they will turn this verb, evil spirits, they will call it daimon. Daimon, which we now like to say demons. The root word of demon is daimon. And daimon in Greek means evil spirit. That is all it means. That is all it means. So this is the origin of these giants and these evil spirits. Now you understand why Elohim was so hastened to destroy the world by a flood. Because mankind and the bloodline of men was in jeopardy. It was polluted. It was polluted. It was polluted. That is why Elohim said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he is also flesh. It does not make sense for him to make that statement, because he clothed men with flesh. What did he mean? He said, for now he is also carnal. Elohim clothed men with flesh, but it was never the intention of Elohim for men to be carnal.
That's right.
So now he saw the bloodline of men was polluted. There was danger. So he had to rid the world or the world of this wickedness. Well, if you continue reading the book of Job or the book of Enoch, you will see how evil began to multiply in the world when these giants came to be. These unnatural beasts. So that is the origin of these giants. Or that is the origin of demons.
Nephilim.
Or Nephilim. But we will continue to read to show you a bit more. The daimon. The daimon.
I've learned something.
Give me the book of Enoch 14. We are still dealing with the origins of demons. What you have to understand when it comes to demons, they were not here in the beginning, as I already said. When Elohim was creating man, Adam, on the 5th day, the angels and the hosts of heaven, they were present, beholding the magnitude and the glory wherein Adam was being clothed. The angels were there. Hashatan was there, beholding. See, what a creature.
What?
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
And as he saw the way Adam was made, he said to himself, as for this one, he is higher in might and authority than me. I cannot approach him lest I die. So he waited until Eve came. And he saw how she was the weaker vessel of Adam and said, this one I can attack.
Attack.
Because had he gone 1-to-1, toe-to-toe with Adam,
You never go stand. You never can. I tell you.
no chance.
No chance.
0-0.
No chance. No chance.
That's right. But he's strategic.
That is why we men, you think you are macho. You fear the devil more than you fear your wife. Let me tell you something. If there is one thing you have to fear in life, fear women more than you fear Satan.
Hey, preacher man, hold on.
Fear women more than you fear Satan.
Hold up.
The chances for you to go to heaven then will be increased by maybe 100%.
Hey, what a
Fear women more than you fear Satan,
100%.
and it shall be well.
What do you
He
mean
said
by fearing?
100%.
How do I feel?
Run,
Run. Flee.
run.
Like Joseph.
Don't entertain women at all
Flee.
until the time is there,
Amen. You are preaching.
until you are ready.
That's right.
Don't dare approach a woman if you are not ready. The Bible said, do not awaken love before it's time.
That's right. Hey, so long.
Because can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?
Solomon.
You think you are how can I say it?
LL Kuchi.
You think you are licking your lips all the time.
You are fresh boy.
You think you are a Superman. Can you take fire on your bosom and your clothes not be burned? You say you are spiritual. Even in all your spirit and glory, let a woman stand before you and done. The Bible says her ways lead to hell. Many strong men were cast down by her.
The eyes only, the eyes.
Solomon spoke more about women than he even spoke. He did not even mention Hashatan once. He says, behold, 4 things have I seen, yea, they are above my comprehension. He says, the way of a boat in the river, the way of a snake on the ground, and the way of a what? Of a promiscuous woman. Because she will cleanse her lips and say, I did not eat. I did not eat. Satan will not cause you to fall. He will seduce you. But what will he use most of the time? The things around you. If Adam could fall by Eve, let that be a lesson.
Amen.
Satan could never come to Adam the way he was. Hey, Adam, I challenge you to a battle. He will die. Just like if Satan comes to you, life, fresh, says, hey, I want you to sin. He will say, get out of here.
Get out of here.
But when he uses a woman,
you
are like,
hi,
with vital statistics.
hi,
Brother Chris.
I don't know.
I like your voice on the radio.
I like the way your head is shining.
Hey, it's anointing.
When they say such things, you are melting.
You are shaking.
You are melting.
Anointing.
That is why the preacher man said, I've seen an evil amongst men. And he said, this evil is more wicked than death itself.
What?
He said, a woman whose way is out for adultery. He said, this one is more wicked than death.
Cannot tame.
This one is more wicked than death. The angels, they saw the beauty of women. They shook. They shook. If an angel can shake, being a celestial being, how much more you who is in the flesh?
That's right.
That is why, my brothers, if you can conquer lust, if you can conquer the sin of lust, you are almost there.
Wow.
You are almost there. Just a matter of seconds and you are there. If you can conquer lust,
You are preaching. One day, I think we should need to go into how we conquer lust.
If you go into that domain, if you catch it, you are done. Because the number one thing that before the sons of Adam is that prevail of Eve over their lives.
That's right. Change the entire.
The number one thing. It is worse than drinking, worse than smoking marijuana. This one, it goes deep. This one, it goes deep. This one, it goes deep. So the fallen angel, they saw these women. They were struck. They were like, wow, what a feeling. What a creature. They looked around. They saw their own beauty, but somehow they were like, our beauty cannot compare to this earthen vessel. What is it in her that causes us to go mad?
Shorty is sweet like an Oreo.
You are minding your own business. You came from fasting. You are filled with the ruach. A woman passes by, the way she walks. You begin to forget verses. You think Psalms 23 is in the book of Job.
Yeah, it's the perfume.
The perfume. The aroma.
Perfume.
So this one we have to be strong. This one we have to be strong. So that is the origin of demons. Was it clear, or should I go over it? Or was it clear for you guys?
You have laid the foundation.
Now give me the book of Enoch 15 verse 8.
Our senior Nana B, I can see that you are watching. We salute you, sir.
Read Enoch 15 verse 8.
Enoch 15 verse 8. And now the giants.
Continuing with the giants. And now the giants
who are produced from the spirit and flesh.
Hey, listen. Who are what?
Who are produced from the spirit and flesh.
Who are produced. So these giants that the Bible is speaking of in Genesis 6, the same giants in Enoch, they are of offspring of spirits and flesh.
Shall be called evil spirits.
Shall be called what?
Evil spirits.
When you're reading about evil spirit in the Bible, this is their origin, their source. Evil spirit is also known as what? Nephili, or daimon, or demon. In French, they say demon.
Demon.
Please say demon. That's what they say.
Demon.
Some people, they cannot pray unless they incorporate that word demon in their prayers.
I come against any demon standing upon my life. I break and I overcome. I overthrow and overrule.
So here we see their roots. Go ahead. They shall be called evil spirits
on the earth.
On the earth.
And shall live on the earth.
Where shall they live?
On the earth.
Where shall they live?
On the earth.
Where shall they live?
On the earth.
And now you want to cast them out. For them to go where?
It is their habitation.
No, but where? No, but seriously, where? For them to go where?
It's a question.
Where shall they live?
They shall live on the earth.
I cast out demons. I send them to Mars. Where shall they live?
On the earth.
Oh, this is their home.
So this is their home. You think we are the only ones living here? There are more demons than there are men.
What?
And women on this earth. They are everywhere. That's why when some people, by the mercy of Elohim, their eyes are open, they begin to cry. They're like, no, shut my eyes again. I cannot bear. They are everywhere. I'm not trying to scare you. It's just the realities of life. Don't ever think you are alone. You are never alone.
Even when you are alone.
What you're saying is so true, because in the realm of the spirit, they multiply faster.
They multiply faster.
So there's no wait for 9 months or whatever. They multiply as fast as
they multiply faster.
That's right.
They are everywhere. And where shall their habitation be?
On the earth.
What you have to understand is angels are spiritual beings, celestial beings. They have their domain. They are not earthen beings. They can appear and disappear in the earth. They have their own bodies, spiritual bodies. But as for demons, they are earthly beings. Don't get it twisted. They are called evil spirits, but they are earthly beings.
And they shall live on the earth.
They shall live upon the earth.
Evil spirits have come out from their bodies.
Go ahead.
Because they are born from men and from holy watchers.
What?
Because they are born from men.
No, brother Chris, you are inventing. We should call you inventor. You always invent things. We think you are mad.
Philosophy.
What does it say?
Evil spirits have come out from their bodies. Because they are born from men.
Because they are born
from men and from the Holy One.
Angels were not born. Angels were created. Demons are born
from men and from holy
watchers. Men and from holy watchers, which are the angels.
Their beginning is of primal origin.
Their beginning is of what?
Primal origin.
Do you know what the word primal means?
Explain.
The word primal means their beginning is of basic origin. Their beginning is of basic origin.
They shall be called evil spirits.
They shall be called daimons or evil spirits. On where?
On the earth.
No, in the heaven.
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 On the earth.
That is why when you read Ephesians 6, it breaks down the ranks. It says spiritual wickedness in highly places. Not talking about demons.
Okay.
That one are angels.
Okay.
That is why it breaks it down. Those one are angels. You cannot quote that and talk about demons. Go ahead.
And an evil spirit shall they be called.
An evil spirit shall they be called.
Spirits of the evil ones.
Spirits of the evil ones.
As for the spirits of heaven.
As for the spirits of heaven.
In heaven shall be their dwelling.
In heaven shall be their dwelling.
But as for the spirits of the earth.
But as for the spirits of the earth.
Which were born on the earth.
Talking about evil spirits or demons.
Which were born on the earth. On the earth shall be their dwelling.
On the earth shall be their dwelling.
And the spirits of the giants afflict.
And the spirits of the giants afflict,
oppress, destroy, attack, war, destroy, and cause trouble on the earth.
And cause trouble upon the what?
On the earth.
That is the task of demons. Kill, destroy, pervert, attack, oppress, terrorize.
That sounds familiar.
That is what they do. That is what they do. They want to exert their revenge upon mankind. Because Elohim destroyed them for our sakes. Nevertheless, after he destroyed them after the flood, their bodies were destroyed. Their bodies were destroyed. But their spirits remained. Now they are known as disembodied spirits. You cannot call an angel a disembodied spirit. Because an angel has a heavenly body.
He's celestial.
He's celestial, a celestial being.
That's right.
With a corporeal body. An angel does not need to possess you. No need. He has no rank on the earth. Even if he comes, it's for a selected time. That's why when the Malak appeared to Joseph or to Jacob, at a certain time he said, I must go back because his time was out.
Time slots.
His time was out. He can only exercise dominion here for selected time. No demon has to say, I have to go. Time. No time. This is their planet. This is where they live. It's your home and it's their home.
This is mine.
But now they are disembodied spirit. Therefore, they seek men whom they may possess. That's what the brother explained. A person whom we now call a wizard is simply a person that is demon possessed.
Wizard.
That is demon possessed. That is all that it means. So now we know the origin of demons. Let's deal for the last 30 minutes with spiritual fornication.
Wow.
I hope we may break it down
Spiritual fornication.
in 30 minutes.
It is paramount for the youth and also for the adults that are listening.
Before we do that, as an introduction to spiritual fornication, give me the book of Enoch chapter 19. Verse 1 until 2.
Enoch chapter 19 verse 1. And Uriel said to me,
and Uriel, one of the archangels, said to me,
the angels who have had sex with
Uriel is the same angel that appeared to Ezra. in the book of the Apocrypha, in the second book of Ezra. That's the same angel who appeared to Ezra. And Uriel,
the angels who have had intercourse with women.
The angels who did what?
Who have had intercourse with women.
Who have had intercourse with women.
Shall stand here.
They shall stand here.
And their spirits.
And their spirits.
Having assumed many different forms.
Having assumed many different forms.
Are defiling mankind.
They are defiling mankind.
And shall lead them astray.
And they shall lead them astray.
Into sacrificing to demons.
Into sacrificing to whom?
To demons.
To demons or evil spirits. As though these demons are gods.
Here shall they stand.
Here will they stand.
Until the day of the great judgment.
Until the day of the great judgment.
In which they shall be judged.
In which they shall be judged.
And are made an end of.
And are made an end of.
And the woman also.
This is key. Leading you guys to the subtopic of spiritual fornication. And the women,
and the women also of the angels, who went astray.
Listen very carefully. Who went astray
shall become sirens.
Who? Did you guys hear that term? Shall be called what?
Sirens.
Repeat that chapter or verse again. And the women.
And the women also of the angels who went astray
shall be called
sirens.
Do you know what a siren is? In Africa, they call it. How do they call it? Mamiwata.
Mamiwata.
In Suriname, how they call it what? Watra mami.
Watra mami.
In Europe, they call it a siren or mermaid. In Dutch, they call it zeemermin. Ever heard these terms before? Of course you heard them. Hollywood introduces them to you. And they make them your daughter's best friend. They talk about Ariel, the little mermaid.
Horrible.
And you go to the superstore. You buy a mermaid and you give it to your daughter.
Play with it.
You see the origin of mermaid. Because as Elohim punished the fallen angels for the act that they committed, he also punished the women. Don't you know, to whom you yield yourself servant, or when you come into sexual relationship with a being, you and the being become what? One. So the angels were bound in Tartarus, or in prison. And the women that had intercourse with these angels, they were known as sirens. This is the origin of sirens, or mermaid. So that concept of spiritual fornication, many of us think it is a joke. You are sleeping, and in your sleep you have a dream. And in that dream you are having sex with someone. And it is not always someone. Every now and then you will see their real face. You are sleeping, and in your dream you see you are having sex with a serpent. You think it is a joke. You think it is a joke. And when you wake up, if you're a man, what will happen? You will see that strength left you. In these wicked European countries, they call it a wet dream.
Teach it at your school.
They teach it at school during biology. They tell children, they tell boys, if you've never had a wet dream before, you are not yet a man. What a wickedness! What a wickedness! These so-called doctors will come and say masturbating is healthy for your brain.
That's right.
What brain?
Which brain?
Which brain?
Vanity. How can vanity be good for your brain?
Which brain? That's why the Messiah said, if one will look upon a maid and lust after her, you have committed fornication already.
Wait,
what does he mean?
Break it down. Break that particular verse down.
What does he mean? What does he mean? As I said, there is a sin that leadeth to death. There is the blasphemy of the Ruach. That one cannot be forgiven. But after that one, the most deadliest sin amongst men on this planet is called sexual immorality. Sexual immorality is the most deadly sin, and it attracts demons and angels to you. That is why Job, in Job 30 verse 1, he said, I have made a covenant with my eyes. Are you guys okay?
Please proceed.
I have made a covenant with my eyes not to look upon the maid
And lust.
and lust. Why would you make that statement? Now give me the book of Matthew 5:28. Let me break down spiritual fornication. Matthew 5:28.
Matthew 5 verse 28. But I say unto you
But I say unto you
that whosoever
that whomsoever
looketh on a woman
shall look upon a woman
to lust after
to
her
lust after her
hath committed adultery with her
had committed adultery with her
already in his heart.
already in his heart.
And if thy right eye,
You can stop there. So the real place where fornication happens, the place where sin happens, is in your heart. It's in your heart. It's in your heart. So just like the angels would come to women and have intercourse with them and bear demons, spiritually that is still happening today. Whenever you have a wet dream in your sleep, a so-called woman comes to you, or so-called man comes to you and has intercourse with you in your dreams, and you wake up and virtue went from you. As a woman, virtue went from you, or as a man, your seed left from you. That is spiritual fornication. That is spiritual fornication. You are adding to the army of Satan. You are adding to the army of Satan. So ask yourself spiritually, how many children do you have? How many children do you have? How many children do you have? That's why you should not make jokes. Nor should you take these things for granted. If you are wrestling with these type of dreams, pray to Elohim for deliverance. Watch yourself. Because spiritually you are bound to an unclean spirit. And you guys are having communion with each other every time you sleep. This is not a movie. This is reality. I know Hollywood makes all kinds of movies and we think it is a joke. I one day said about television, television is the spiritual world revealed to the blind for all to see. Everything that happens in television, most of the things, they are spiritual truths.
Okay.
The Greeks have their legend. All their Greek pantheon, their Greek gods. What do they say? The Greek upper god, Zeus. Zeus would come to female people and would have intercourse with them. And they would bear demigods, as they call them. And the demigods were known as the heroes of old. One of the demigods is known as Hercules, who was a son of Zeus and of an earthly woman. You think, it's a joke. It is not a joke. The Greeks are telling you the story of the fallen angels and their offspring. It is not a joke. These are all realities. These are all realities. It is the truth. Just because you are not aware of it doesn't make it less true. How many things are happening in the world which you cannot explain? Not everything is meant for you to explain. The spiritual order goes above the physical order. You cannot explain everything. The things which we cannot explain, we say, it is chance or what. It is no chance. Spiritual realm is real. More real than you may comprehend or apprehend. That is why you should appreciate Elohim. That is why you should appreciate Elohim. Look at all the wickedness happening around us. You thought a wet dream was something normal. It is not normal. You are producing offspring to the kingdom of the enemy. That is why the demons keep on multiplying. Who's multiplying them?
So they need the seeds of human.
They need the seeds of human beings to produce.
What a wow.
They need the seeds of human beings to produce. So you are contributing to their account.
Okay.
That's why do you think the enemy promotes sex so much? Why do you think the enemy promotes sexual immorality so much? The original sin is the sin of sex. That is the original sin.
So they understand the process and they know that we are naive when it comes to sex.
They know that we are naive because what you have to understand is the enemy cannot create. He can corrupt.
Okay.
Elohim creates and human beings create.
What's the difference in this instance?
The difference in this, the enemy cannot take another spirit and then go around mess with that spirit and produce a being. They cannot. There's no power in them to create. They can deform and corrupt.
Okay.
They can deform and corrupt. So they need the help of men to bring about their plans. That's why you will see immodesty and immorality has shot over the roof. Look at the way people are dressing nowadays.
Yes.
You are a man in the summer. All you like to wear is singlet to show your muscles. Women are lusting after you. You are women. All you want to wear is legging. That which once was an under armor, now is your upper armor. You are going to the church, sister. High heels, legging. You are shaking it right in the church. All the men are looking at your behind. They are fantasizing.
And spiritually,
they are lusting after you.
This is deep.
But the Bible said when a man looks at a woman and lust, he has committed adultery in his heart already with you.
So there are people that think that are virgins physically.
You think you are a virgin physically,
but spiritually,
men have slept with you.
De-virginized.
That is why you will see you are walking through the streets. Then you go home, all of a sudden you are tired. Men have had sex with you spiritually. Maybe 100, 200 men. You don't know.
Man of God, this is deep.
You don't know.
This is
a man will look at you. You are showing your ass. And the man is thinking, what I would like to do with that. I would like to jump on it.
So then spiritually,
jump. I would like to somersault on it. Spiritually, what he's thinking, it is happening.
Wow.
They are cleaving to you, cleaving to you. So that man will go home. And the devil has seen it. When there is a sin attracts the enemy. Sexual immorality attracts the enemy. So that when he sees that, he will take the face of that woman. When you are asleep, now he will come to you in the form of that woman.
So it's a disguise.
It's a disguise.
So you think that you are enjoying sleeping with Kim Kardashian.
It's a demon.
But it's a demon.
It's a demon.
Wow.
It is a demon. You will not take on that face of that woman. And if you are a man, he takes on the face of that. If you are a woman, he takes on the face of that man.
Or even a woman.
That macho man, or even a woman.
Wow, what an abomination.
And then you will see, you are sweating in the night. Spiritually, you are producing evil spirits. So ask yourself, how many men have you seduced with the way you dress?
So this is why Elohim is so concerned about.
That is why Elohim tells us how we ought to wear.
What?
You think just being spiritual is simple as that? You think when people say, watch out, sister, don't dress that type of way. You think these men want to bring us to bondage. Spiritually, you are binding yourself.
That's right.
That is why you cannot have good dreams. You are married, your marriage is not working out.
Why? Because
spirits are cleaved to you. In the spiritual realm, they are saying you cannot have peace. You are married to me. You are married to me.
You are married to Mame Wata. What a shock.
You dress around showing your behind. Men are being attracted to it. What attracts men also attracts demons.
Well, what attracts men also attracts demons.
If fallen angels could look at women and lust, what do you think about evil spirits like demons?
Come on now, come on. Come on.
This is the reality of life. That is why Yah said, a woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man.
We need to go into that one day, man of God.
You think we are mad? Saying all these things out of our own pleasure and fun. We want you to be happy, our sisters.
Amen.
We want you to be happy, our brothers.
Amen.
It is not normal to wear such things that are called sexy. How can you call yourself a child of Elohim, but you love it when the world calls you sexy?
What is sexy?
Even mothers call their daughters that.
Yeah, so
Your own mother will say, hey, you look sexy. And then you mothers are so sick. You say, the relationship between me and my daughter is fine. That's why I can tell that to her. You are prostituting your own child.
Sexy
Spirits.
Sexy baby.
You are a child of Elohim. But you love it when men say, you are sexy. And then they say that, you are sexy as hell. Yes, you are sexy as hell.
What a statement. Sexy as hell.
You are sexy as hell.
What is desirable?
Of course, hell is sexy. Sexy.
Hey, sexy baby. Sexy.
You as a woman of Elohim, you should not even want to be associated with the word sexy.
Sex. Hallelujah.
Be associated with the word modest.
How many of you are being associated with that word? Even the men.
If you want to wear something, someone says, hey, you look sexy in it. Burn it. Burn it. Hey, how do I look, girls? Oh, you look sexy. Say, thank you. This one is ready to be burned. Run away from the word sexy. Because men are lusting after you, producing strange dreams. Spiritually, they are having relationships with you. That is why you see sexual immorality is the number one weapon used by the enemy. Listen at the music nowadays. It seems as if any black person that is making music, a woman has to be there to shake. A woman has to be there to shake.
Shake that ass.
Without that milkshake, there is no song.
Come on, shake it. Shake it, man.
Yeah, and this is showing the reality of our lives today. There is no text in the songs anymore. The texts are being reduced, but the assets are being multiplied. So if I want to be a famous rock or musician right now, I take 10 women that can shake. I only put a beat, and I'm like, as long as they shake it on the beat, it's a number one hit on the Billboard. How is this happening? Sexual immorality is multiplying in the world. Listen at the songs. Oh baby, I wanna do this. Oh baby, I want you hit it. That is all the text.
Hey, rapper.
That is all the text.
Pastor rapper.
So you are sitting at home. You are listening to the songs, watching the video clips. All that your mind is receiving is immorality. And that is now sitting in you. And now when the enemy comes, because he's attacking you from all facets, on television, he's attacking you with sexual immorality. On the radio, he's attacking you with sexual immorality. And when that has filled your heart, you are now walking outside. A woman will walk by with a tight legging, and then the enemy comes and, oof, you see that. Don't speak to her. You cannot resist. You cannot resist because your head is filled with sexual immorality, and then you follow that lady. And then when things go wrong, you go cry to Elohim. So Satan has done it. What Satan?
You are going to Central Station. You see the lady getting off at Rebus.
You get off.
You are following the backside. You
take camera. You press video. You are recording the way she shakes it. You are recording it. And then when she turns back, you're like, as if you are doing something else.
Mannequin challenge.
All of a sudden. And then you go home. You use that video to relax yourself.
Ease yourself.
Men that are going to the church, they always sit at the back.
That's right. The best view.
Men are going to the church. They will look before they enter the church. They stand before the door. They stand at the door. They're looking where is the highest level and concentration of women.
Pre-selection.
They are sitting at the right corner. Where do you think you will go and sit? At the right corner in the back.
In the back.
Why? Because you know that one is enjoyment.
The best video.
It's free pornography in the church.
What?
He's sitting there. Every time the women they go sit.
Pornography.
He's watching. Every time they have to stand.
Dance.
He's watching. Every time they have to dance. You know us, the churches. No worship anymore.
No.
Only praise. And what incorporates praise? The beat. Then he's sitting. So God asks for him. No, I don't dance.
A big man.
He's standing like this. He's observing the shakings in the church. He was better off staying at home than coming to the church because the way certain people dress. Because the way certain people dress. There is no shame anymore. There's literally no shame anymore. That is why your number one enemy is lust. Sexual immorality is rampaging over the globe. And it is destroying us, the sons of Adam. I'm not putting all the blame to women. No, certainly not. Men are also guilty of it, but to a lesser portion.
That's right.
The only men you see wearing tight jeans is either they are gay.
Man.
Sodom.
There's nothing wrong with having something that is well tailored. It's okay. But wearing it so tight that you are a man, we can see the form of your ass. It's disgusting. It is above disgusting.
It has become succulent.
We see the form of your behind. You are a man. What are you trying to achieve with that outfit?
I'm trying to be a fly boy, you know.
What? No, seriously. What women have something they want to achieve? What are you trying to achieve with that outfit? You are a man. Your behind is showing.
No, I'm a fly boy, innit? It's a fly boy thing, yeah? It's a minor, yeah? You know them things, yeah?
It's a new style. It's a trend.
So we have to be very wary of sexual immorality. It is killing. It is killing. It is killing. And the enemy is making use of all these. That's what the Bible says. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Are we not talking about the deceiver?
That's right.
That is how he deceives. That is how he deceives. Satan will always use women to deceive men. And I'm talking about strong men. If you are a man, seriously, if you are a man, if you are a man,
I am a man.
And you are struggling with all types of things, I weep. You think alcohol, drugs abuse is worse? It's terrible. The number one sin
Killer.
is sexual immorality. This one goes deep. You don't produce demons by smoking marijuana or ganja. Sensimilia. But you produce demons by sexual immorality.
So they have an emphasis on that area.
That is why they cling so much on that area of life.
That's why you can come into the truth, you know each and everything, but when it comes to sexual immorality,
that one is a Goliath.
That one is a battle.
That one is a Goliath.
You will finish preaching, you will finish fasting, and you'll go back.
That one is a Goliath.
Why? Because they needed to multiply in the realm of
that one is a Goliath.
You're preaching.
If you deal with that aspect,
you become king. You are powerful.
If you have overcome that aspect, I will shake your hand and say, you are almost there.
March on to Zion.
You are almost there. You are almost there. To conquer women. To conquer women. Solomon in all of his wisdom. The Bible said, despite of all the things that Solomon did, but Solomon loved many strange women.
And that's the thing. We like the strange ones.
We like the strange ones.
The strange ones.
You will tell your fiance, don't dress like this. It's not good in the sight of Elohim. Don't do this. But secretly in your heart, the women you admire are those kinds of women.
So you are seeking a modest woman, but in your home
you are seeking a modest woman, but in your home, between the covers, you are lusting after Kim Kardashian.
You are thinking the less the better.
And her implants.
The bigger the better.
You are like, the glorious the makeup is, the better for me.
The more fake she is, the more I like it. The faker, the better. What a gentleman.
That is the life that we are leading. That's why Solomon says, my son, do not lust after the strange women. Let her not capture you with her eyelids. The mystery of eyelids.
There's something about that thing.
The mystery of eyelids.
If it catches
the mystery of eyelids.
If it catches
many they catch you by their sight.
You
look at them, they look at you. When they close their eyes, you are finished.
You are gone.
You are gone.
It is gone with the anointing.
What do you think the most common compliment men make? They say, when I look into your eyes,
it's done with
I
me.
am gone.
Oh, I see my future.
My future,
when I look into your eyes, I feel like
no, and that is not a lie. It is the truth.
There's something about the eyes.
It is the truth.
The entrance to the soul.
That's why the Bible said, turn. Turn. In the book, is it the Song of Solomon? He's speaking about the eyelids of women. He's speaking about the eyelids of women. If she captures you with her eyelids, that's why they have to highlight their eyelids. They beautify it, their eyelids.
What a revelation.
They beautify their eyelids.
Have you ever seen them?
It acts as a spider web. They have to make it very long, and they have to draw it. And when they draw it and make it long, when you look into their eyes, when they catch you, you are finished. Women, you like to make up your eyes. You don't know even why you are doing it. It is sorcery. It is sorcery. It is sorcery. The highest form of witchcraft. Let me beautify my eyelids. The Bible said when Elijah was coming to the court of the king, and Jezebel sat upon the tower, when she saw Elijah coming, she ran into a room and she beautified her face. So that when she could, do you know why she did it?
Tell us.
Because Elijah was coming with a supernatural anointing. So she was like, I have to make something about me also supernatural. So she adorned herself according to the way that the fallen angels taught her grandmother.
Wow.
So when she then looked into the eyes of Elijah, it was a battle.
Hey.
If she had caught Elijah, Elijah could not say, thus said Elohim. But he prevailed. That is why women, when they beautify themselves, why do you think they do it? They want to catch you. They want to catch you. They want to catch you. If a lady knows, hey, Brother Shambui, Saturday will be at this place at around this time. And she wants to catch you.
She will
not send you a message. No. She will beautify herself above beauty.
That's true.
And then she will walk by where you are sitting once, twice, three times. She only knows if you have caught her once,
It's done.
you are finished.
You will send me text.
That's sexual immorality. That's the weapons of Satan, the master and the art of deception.
That's right.
Next week, we are bringing the conclusion of the matter. We will conclude. That month, it is off the top of our dome. Freestyling. Everything comes in mind, we discuss. So that week or that month, there's no doctrine involved. We don't care about doctrine that month. Everything we have ever seen that disgusted us, we will discuss it.
What?
The conclusion of the matter. So if you think we have been firing bombs, wait and see.
Wow.
Intercontinental.
If we leave this man to speak, he will speak the entire night. And that is at times what can happen when you are led by the Ruach. It seems like you're mad, but it's a good thing to be mad for the Messiah and for the things pertaining to righteousness, holiness, and purity. Once again, you are listening to Hour of Restoration, Restoring the Broken Worlds, live from Amsterdam, each Friday from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. The ministers will be in the house blowing the shofar. Tell a friend to go on Facebook, like our pages, search for SoundCloud on YouTube, search for Hour of Restoration on YouTube and on SoundCloud so that you can listen on the go. Know that these men will be in the studio coming Sunday from 9 till 11 p.m. And I'm excited for next month. So tell a friend to tell a friend. I hope that you have a wonderful Shabbat. Stay blessed and keep doing the things that are righteous. Shalom.